put our hands together, please, for Dashiell, that Demontime Shaw. Keep your hands together for Dashiell as he enters the ring this evening. This is his first fight here for London Chessboxing Nation. Weighing in at 80, and he's got some friends in the crowd. Amazing. Weighing in at 84 kilograms.
Go on, Dash!
182 centimeters height. He's a senior policy advisor. Welcome to the ring, Danielle. And in the black corner this evening, this fighter can smell your fear. He can taste your hesitation. There's no telling what he might do next. No gambit is too dubious, no sacrifice too unsound. No combination too gun-ho. Put your hands together for Matthew the Minotaur Coldwell! Welcome to the ring, our quality controller, Matthew Coldwell from Bout. His hobbies are rotary engines, horse riding, and Norse mythology. He is ready to fight. What an entrance! Dashiell, you're keeping your game face together. Let's hear it for our fighters, Dashiell Shaw and Matthew Coldwell.
All right, I'll open up. Well, Sam, I know where your allegiances lie. Let's see if you can keep that in check.
Absolutely. All right, and the chess is on, everybody. Here we go. If you're seeing a bit of green on the board, don't worry. It is St. Patrick's Day, and we'll have that fixed shortly. Oh, looking at the players here, they're both very focused. Dashiell playing something slightly offbeat, probably to take Matt out of book. What are your thoughts here, Matt?
So we've got a reverse Benoni position, ladies and gentlemen. Tremendously exciting for all concerned. Dashiell, the stronger player, playing quite an attritional opening with the white pieces. Do you think he's going for some sort of positional advantage? Maybe going to something that Black won't understand?
I think that's exactly right, Matt. I think he's trying to take the Minotaur into a maze he hasn't seen before.
All you classicists must be absolutely loving that, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Sam Walker brings to the party. My goodness me. E3, interesting move. Threatening a change in pawn structure.
This is tense. And I have to say, given that the Minotaur is the bigger fighter, I think Dashiell will want to put a dent here on the chess.
Oh, knight g5.
I like this.
Knight g5.
I like this.
He's threatening to take the bishop, engulfed in a sea of green. If that bishop were to go off the board, then once again, Black will have problems with their light squares, as we saw in the previous game. But unlike the previous game, Dashiell's light square bishop is nicely ensconced on g2, raking its way down that diagonal.
Oh, absolutely, Matt. And I should probably declare an interest here. I'm a friend of Dashiell's, everybody. So if the commentary sounds slightly biased from my end, I can only apologize. I feel a little bit like a mixture between a nervous girlfriend and a nervous parent here. So I want us all hoping for him in the boxing. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Rookie one check, bishop e7, and Dashiell very quickly playing queen a4. Dashiell's only used 15 seconds on his clock. What an absolute showboater.
I think the chess tonight will definitely be Dashiell's element, though he is a good boxer. Both these guys pack a bit of a punch, Matt. Have you heard about this?
I have not, Sam.
Oh,
Tell me more.
I'll tell you some more. So both these guys know their way around the boxing ring. They've each been boxing for 18 months. And as a friend of Dashiell, he gave me a little rib tickler the other way. And I tell you what, it hurts a little bit. It hurts a little bit.
That sounds positively terrifying. I'm glad I'm not in the ring for a whole host of reasons. I wouldn't last a second. Right, queen to d7, knight to d2, castles. Dashiell's in the tank. He's thought for 4 seconds.
Very unusual for Dashiell to take any time in his chess games. He's a player who relies on intuition and thinking on his opponent's time.
And his intuition has served him well so far. Knight back to e4. Very, very impressively solid stuff by Dashiell. This all feels like pretty decent chess as it goes, doesn't it? Both sides have acquitted themselves well. Matthew Coldwell, though, is 2 minutes down on the clock. That could play a part later on. If Dashiell can remain solid in the boxing, ultimately, that clock mercilessly ticking down will be more and more of a factor. But knight b3, knight b3 is a move, because that queen doesn't have a lot of squares, does it, Sam?
No, it doesn't. That queen is looking a little bit trapped, but I think Dashiell's seen this through. I think he knows he's got just enough room to maneuver, and I think he's looking confident. I'm having a little peek at the fighters here. They're both looking pretty cool and ready for the boxing to come. Dashiell sitting back in his chair. I think he likes his position now.
I think he does. He's certainly got time on his side. As long as that queen on a4 doesn't run out of squares, and to be honest, the only way he can attack it is with a6 and b5, and that's not very easy to maneuver without that knight on c6 being a little bit out of place. What are you thinking, Sam?
So I'm thinking, if I'm white here, I want to develop my dark squared bishop if I can, just to connect my rooks and complete my development. The only way I think you lose this in one move by white is if you drop that rook on e1.
Lovely analysis, I agree. So a move like bishop to f4 next.
f4, d2, something like this.
Bishop d2 is interesting because you might have knight a4 or a5 ideas in some lines. I've got to say, though, I can't see it working unless that bishop is forced back. And actually, that bishop, weirdly, for a Benoni-type position, both bishops are reasonably good. Both light square bishops are doing a decent job.
Yeah.
So I think this could be really interesting. Got to say, I take white here, not just because of the clock situation, but actually I think it's the type of position where black could make a bit of a positional error a bit more easily, whereas white, that's quite a simple plan. Connect the rooks, activate his, move out his bishop, activate/connect his rooks, and then try and do something against c5. Maybe move the knight, maybe play b4.
Absolutely. There's a lot of chess to be played, I think we can say in sum here. We're going to be talking a lot about this chess game, assuming this boxing round goes here. I can't see an early knockout here or anything like that, Matt. Both these guys are big and brawny. Although, having a look at Matt, I think a lot of his weight might be chest hair.
I think so. Chest hair and hair. Plus those shorts look like they might be made of leather or some kind of perspex. I think this is going to be a really, really interesting fight. Both of them have been working very hard for this, both boxing enthusiasts, but as you say, not that experienced boxers. Dashiell getting a pat on the shoulder.
Dashiell boxing with the t-shirt on. You don't normally see that. I wonder if they've forgotten to take it off.
Oh, I think Ronaldo might be asking about it.
I think he might be, yeah. How can you see where the belt is? Now, when you box, you're not allowed to hit below the belt, so you need to be very mindful of that. It's called a low blow. So yeah, the t-shirt is coming off. Woo! Oh! In case anybody hasn't noticed, that is looking exciting.
What a moment for everyone here in Tuffnel Park.
Here we go. Everybody is pumped for this. Now, apologies if there's any screaming from me here, Matt. I'm vested.
Sam, as we know, are hugely biased. Myself, not enormously biased.
Dashiell covering up.
Oh,
wow. A heavy punch from Dashiell away.
And they are in like a
that was a good
of monkeys, scrabbling together for space.
Dashiell's looking to counter here. Look how covered up he is. He's looking to counter Matt. He's looking for Matt to leave himself exposed and then hit him. Really, really smart boxing from Dash. He's the smaller man. Go on, Dash. I probably shouldn't be so partisan, Matt. I'm sorry. I can't deal with this.
I mean, non-partisan commentary is very much the bread and butter of most sports. I think it's completely fine.
I think what I would say is for two new fighters, the fact that they're going hammer and tongs so early on is pretty unusual.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
It's excellent.
It doesn't look like a first fight to me. They look great. They look really good. Very impressive.
And this is a
Dashiell holding him up, covering up here. Very sensible.
This is a 3-minute round as well. The previous fight, it was 2 minutes per boxing round. 3 minutes is going to seem like an absolute lifetime for those doing their first fight. Potentially, if they've got half a brain cell on the chest as well. At the same time, you know.
Oh, it's very smart boxing. Very smart boxing from Dash. Oh, and a little bit of a showman there. He's feeling comfortable now in the ring. Oh, this is great from Dashiell here. Showing a bit of boxing IQ. This is what we want to see. A little bit of work on the inside. There, look how he's just holding him up there against the ropes.
Dashiell sort of playing like someone who wants to talk about this as his first fight in the future. This is the moment where I knew I'd be a great. He's got the chess skills, but he's really bringing, as you say, that boxing IQ.
This is nice stuff.
Absolutely lovely stuff.
It's worth saying that the Minotaur is getting through from distance. Not all of his punches are hitting Dashiell's gloves. Dashiell showing the chin. I don't like that. That was scary. Good boxing round. Wowzer, that was good.
Wowzer indeed. Both newbies, both acquitted themselves very, very well. I don't think there was a huge amount in it, but Dashiell has about to be the happier given what's going on in the chess.
I think absolutely, but it's worth saying that no one is yet winning on the chess.
No.
It's very even.
Nobody is yet winning on the chess, but I think both of us would take white. I think that the fact that knight on c6 can be taken any time is maybe a bit of a red herring. The pawn on b7 is a little bit weak by virtue of the fact that it can't move forward. At some point, if the knight moves, it could drop off. The knight on b3, which is ostensibly trapping the queen in, actually doing a decent job of attacking the c5 pawn, which can't be supported by b6 because of what I've just mentioned.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you could see that on stream, but Dashiell just high-fives a member of the crowd like it's nobody's business. He's feeling in his element now, Matt. And now he's going back to his real element, which is the chess.
The chess.
Oh,
well,
my
Sam,
goodness.
It's going to be over to you in a second as we begin.
Oh, and we are back, everybody. What a round of boxing that was. Did anybody see the showboating there? That was good, wasn't it? Unbelievable stuff. These two, this is their first fight, everybody. First fight here.
Their first fight, but they have the dripping arrogance of seasoned pros. And here we are on the chess, relatively level position. But as we were saying, Sam, I think both of us would rather be white. Both of us would be in Dashiell's position. And why is that?
Absolutely. So white's got quite a flexible structure here. So you see that light squared bishop that Matt is very wisely looking to trade. That light squared bishop is really strong on that diagonal. White's got a nice little grip. It's not winning by any means, but white's got some pressure here. What would you be looking to do here from the black side, Matt?
I think you need to play fairly solidly, first of all. It's very, very easy to just let your position fall apart with the weakness on the c5 square, the fact that the knight on c6 can't move very easily, the fact that all of these things are connected to a slightly funny b7 pawn. Really, solidity is the name of the game, but the trouble that black has is, even though the rounds are fairly long, he's only got 4 minutes on the clock, and actually, there's a lot of tension in the position, but it's tension that I think white has greater control over.
I think that's true. I think this clock is not going to stop ticking. If it did, we'd be here all night after all. So thankfully, we do have a clock tonight, so these guys can't take forever.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Sam Walker. If the clock stops ticking, we'll all be here forever.
Hey, Matt, I say what I see. Nothing more, nothing less. And what I'm seeing here is a really highbrow chess game. This is really impressive.
It is extraordinarily high, Val, you're right. And Dashiell has still only used 2 minutes of his time. But he is in a really interesting position because actually he too could let it fall apart slightly if... Oh, F3. I'm not sure about F3.
I don't love that. I don't love that.
It's a weakness on the dark squares. That bishop raking down the diagonal, hitting the pawn 2 in front of the king. He can't take it soon, but it might be a time in the future where black uses those dark squares to mate Dashiell Shaw.
We could see a potential mating attack on white's king side. Dashiell's looking in control, though. Remember, he's got the dark squared bishop here. And if you look at the pawn chain here for white, white's got lots of things on light squares. So that dark squared bishop of white's can move everywhere. It's really the jewel of his position.
I completely agree, but enough about pawn chains and high val positions. I think we need another round of chess. Chess! chess, 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 chess. That's the stuff. Lovely. F4. Oh no! F4.
no.
And now if the knight moves, then the rook drops off. Has Black just blundered a piece, Sam Walker?
Oh, this is a devilish trap. I think Black can recover if he just slips the knight back to c6. That way that knight will be blocking the diagonal from White's queen. But if Black takes the cherry, if Black goes for that little pawn on d3 in front of White's dark squared bishop, he is going to be in a world of hurt. Let's see what
And
he
he's
does.
playing knight c6.
Great
He has
move.
played knight c6. Far calmer and more circumspect than this commentator, that is for sure. And now rook to e1. Black's time ticking down. 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Not enough time, not so little time for a countdown, but it could come up soon. And what about knight a5 as an idea now,
That's the
Sam?
kind of
and he's
move.
done it!
Oh, that's
He's
kind of
played
gotta
knight
play.
a5. I love knight a5 as a move. That's some really strong chess IQ there from White.
Absolutely. We spoke about nightmares earlier this evening. This is the kind of move that gives me a very happy dream, Matt.
Knight to a5, Matthew Coldwell, 2 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. Dashiell glancing at the crowd, glancing to his left. Scratching his ear, I'm just commentating on a man making movements. That's not what people have paid money for. But the bell is here.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I mean, that's a very, very well played round of chess. And it's funny, I got so excited in position, I missed after knight e5. I could simply just drop back. I thought that was a horrendous blunder. I thought,
You think you got excited? I was talking about happy dreams there, Matt. I'm not sure that's the lingo we want here in the chessboxing world, but wowza, what a fight.
What a fight. And actually, so knight takes b7 is going to be a tactic in some lines. The fact the knight can't move is a real pain. And actually, like, Black would love to play a move like knight e5 here, but there's always going to be dangers of knight takes d7, queen takes d7, knight takes d7, and knight takes b7. And because the bishop on d6 is being hit, that's not really a viable idea for Black to allow.
Well, it's funny you say knight takes b7. If I'm Dashiell here, I'm probably doing knight takes c6, taking it into an endgame where I'll have the real mastery of the position. But before then, we've got some boxing.
We do have some boxing. And again, the onus is on Matthew Coldwell to really bring his endgame. Dashiell weathered an early storm and actually came out of it brimming with confidence. Matthew, given his slightly worse chess position, miles down on the clock, he really needs to come up with something here.
I think we've got an angry Minotaur versus a very calm Greek hero. Oh no, here comes the boxing. Both fighters happy to let go now. They've got through the opening rounds. They know there's not too much longer left in the fight. Great body shot there from the Minotaur. Dashiell doesn't seem to affect him too much. He's still coming forward, looking very solid. Oh, that was a bit of a wild
swipe.
punch.
Wild swipe there. Knuckle first.
I'd like to see Dashiell getting a little bit closer with his feet if he can. I think he was lunging there a little bit.
We do enjoy a lunge in Chessboxing Nation.
We do.
And an echoey punch sort of reverberating through the halls of the dome.
I heard that one. My goodness me.
Oh dear. Dashiell with his trademark hug.
Dashiell being very sensible there. Just holding Matt there. Just holding him, saying, okay, you may be the bigger man, but I'll just hold you against the ropes. You're not that strong. Oh. Matt, both these guys are cracking boxers, you know. They know how to cover up. They know how to throw. I tell you what, though, it's hard for Dashiell to get in there with his feet here because Matt's just so tall. There's always going to be a foot in the way.
He's so tall and he's pretty nimble for a big man. He's got a light touch for a big man.
He is. Oh, my goodness. Oh, good blow from Dash. It's only a glancing blow, but that's a bit of a stinger.
And he needed that as well. There was a couple of couple of sucker punches to the ribs.
That's a real gut punch. I think Dashiell felt that one. That's where you want to have some conditioning here for the boxing, because those punches can really send you to the canvas if you haven't done the right training.
And I would say Dashiell and Matthew are very much clearly equip themselves well as far as their training is concerned. Often when people lose weight ahead of these kind of events, it then puts them in a bad shape when they get a real punch and then they suddenly find themselves on the floor, not knowing how they got there or what to do next.
Absolutely. That was, I felt like that was the kind of round you just want to get through if you're Dashiell Shaw there, you know?
So yeah, I think one thing we'll need to talk to the crowd about here as well is what happens if White goes for the swap of the major pieces on the E8 and then plays knight takes b7. because it's very, very tempting. But what happens on the e-file then, Sam?
Oh, it's going to be carnage on the e-file, Matt. We're going to see a lot of pieces getting fizzed off here. Do you think we're going to have another round of boxing after this, or will it finish now?
I don't think it will. I don't think we will have another round of boxing because I think Matthew's so low on time. And Dashiell is playing so quickly.
He is,
it's a 4-minute round of chess, and Matthew would have to use basically all of his time in order to use half of those 4 minutes. And because Dashiell is playing more or less instantly, apart from in really critical moments, that's quite a dodgy proposition. Sam also spoke about the possibility of just swapping into an ending here, which I quite like, but actually, I think given the tension in the position, I think Dashiell could be more circumspect and wait for a blunder here. He can play rook takes e8 at any time, really.
I think you're right. The nice thing about White's position here is he's got black all tied up. So he could just make a way to. He could even go king g2, getting waiting for the ending.
So, Sam, what happens if White just swaps off major pieces on the e-file?
So, if White trades everything off here, think the queens, the rooks, the everything goes.
Bloody hell! What?
Forget about that. What was that?
Oh, my giddy aunt, that's awful.
Oh, Matt, the Minotaur's made a pretty big mistake here.
If only I knew enough Greek mythology to make some sort of clever pun, but I don't. All I know is, Dashiell Shaw, he had an advantage on the clock. He's now got an advantage on the chessboard, Sam Walker.
Oh, I totally agree, Matt. I can only think of maze puns here, so we should probably focus on the chess now.
So, Black now a clear pawn down for absolutely nothing. He did well there. It could have quite easily been worse. That queen on B... Oh, rook to B8. Lovely stuff. Queen drops back to A4. The queen has always looked a little bit tender on those squares, but he's doing just enough. He's giving himself just enough space. He's a pawn up. He's a pawn up. He's got the pawn rolling down the B file. I think White is going to be absolutely thrilled with this. And what's happening with the clock, Sam?
Absolutely. We've got Barry the B pawn barreling through for White here. Gosh, that was hard to say.
Some alliteration there.
But importantly, as you're talking about, Matt is very low on time. I'll be surprised.
Oh no!
It's a peg!
And it's a skewer! It's a skewer! And this is horrible! It's become so horrible!
This is tough.
So quickly! This is grim, ladies and gentlemen! This is so grim! Rook takes rook, rook takes rook, and then the queen could either come to A8 or back via D1.
I think he's going to go to D1. He's going to go for a mating attack
Queen
here.
D1 now!
Oh.
It does the same thing. Queen's coming into E4. This is so bad!
This
is
very
so
nice.
bad, ladies and gentlemen. And Black is ticking. His clock is ticking mercilessly down now. What's he gonna do? What would you do if you're Black here, Sam?
Well, I should say this is so bad for Matt, but if you're a Dashiell Shaw fan here, you're enjoying this. This is nice. This is
if
nice.
you're one of Dashiell Shaw's seeming thousands of fans in the crowd, you will be in party mode right now because that king is in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
It's in no man's land, and I think we're going to see a checkmate very soon, or Coldwell's going to run out of time. He's got 21 seconds left. 20 seconds. He's in the tank.
This is tough. This is tough.
Oh, he's lost it. His mind's gone. His mind's completely gone. Rook takes H6. His threat next. Surely it's over. Rook takes H6. He's gonna have to play F6 here. There's best in that, and he's running out of time.
Oh, we're
he's
nearly
running out of time. And I think that's over.
And it's over.
I think it's over. I think it's over.
My goodness me, that was exhausting.
Oh my goodness, I totally lost my voice. That was quite the high drama finish. What an ending! What an ending! Bishop to A5.
That was fabulous.
I mean, B5 was a critical mistake by Black. As we said, it's the kind of position where it's very easy to let it fall apart.
Goodness me, Matt. I feel like I need to go splash some cold water on my face after that. I feel like I've been a battle. That was mad.
A winner! A winner is Dashiell!
We've got to give them a round of applause here. Well done, everybody.